Okay friends, I'm going to go ahead and get started on this coffee table. And what I'm going to use here, I've got a small orbital sander. It's kind of hard to see it here. I've got this orbital sander, and I've got these little discs that just stick right on like Velcro. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with a 60 grit sandpaper. 60 is, no, this one's 80, I'm sorry. 60, I start with something heavy to take off the top finish. And you can see I've kind of started a little bit here. And you can see where all of the scratches are, just from normal wear and tear. But after I get the main top off, the main layer, then I'll go with a 120 sandpaper, a little finer, to help sand out some of these little scratches and nicks. And when I get that done, I'll come back and show you. Alright friends, as you can see, I have gotten the top layer, the first layer, off of the center of the table. You can see I haven't done the sides yet, so you can see how much darker it was. Now, for the center section, I'm going to come back in and go over it with a 120 grit, so a little bit finer sandpaper, and it should help bring out some of the natural, should get rid of some of this yellow and try and just even out the colors and make it look brand new. Anyway, thanks. See you soon. Videoing my table. All right. So I have sanded everything down to the bare wood now. Had to use sandpaper, little individual pieces for the cracks in the sides. But we're getting closer. Alright, cleaned up the garage a little bit. So this is the sandpaper I used for the small sides and the edges. I typically would just tear it in half in strips like this, size here, and then I could rip them and then get into the little cracks and crevices where my electric sander won't get into. It's a cute little table though. It's got these little things that pull out here on the side. Not sure what these are for, but there's one there, and then there's another one over here. And then underneath, let's pull this out. And there you go. Today's Tuesday, and yesterday I had a friend who brought me this round coffee table. She really likes this coffee table, but she wanted it to have a new look. So she's not sure yet what she wants this look to be, but I've started taking the finish off of the top. I'm using a 60 grit sandpaper and my orbital sander. These little, sorry, not 60, 80. So they come like this. They're a little round. They just Velcro onto the front of this sander. And I am doing a rough sanding right now to get the top off, get all the old stain. And you can see as I'm sanding, all of the scratches that are starting to appear from all the wear and tear and all the love that this table has seen. So I'll be able to sand a lot of that out of there and put a brand new finish on it. Can't wait to see what it looks like when we're done. Anyway, come back later and I'll show you more. Bye. I am back. I have finished sanding this table here. It looks like these little spots here, these little darker spots, you have to be careful when you're doing tables, because sometimes they're not solid wood all the way through. Sometimes it's a wood veneer. So if you look at the edge of this table here, you can see that it's just a veneer on here that looks like wood. So I should be able to sand those, or not sand them, but when I stain it up, it shouldn't. We shouldn't be able to see that too much. Back over here to my coffee table, I worked on it a little bit today. I went over the top and the sides again with a 120 sandpaper, and then again with the 220. And so now the top is ready for stain. The bottom, I went over that with a piece of 80 grit sandpaper. When I say the numbers, the grits are how rough they are. The lower the number, the more grab it's got to it, or the rougher it is. The higher the number, it's going to give you more of a polished look. Since I'm planning on painting the bottom of the table, all I did was kind of sand off some of the yuck, some of the wear and tear, and some of just enough to give it a something that the paint will be able to grab onto. So I'll need somebody to help me carry this into the house because this little bad boy is heavy. But then we'll go ahead and we'll get started on painting the bottom. And when I take it in, I'll have to be real careful when I flip it over to paint it. I'll have to set the top on something soft so that I don't scratch up the top and mess up the top before I get started. This one here, like I said, I'm still not sure what we're going to do with the bottom of it yet, but the top is done. I'll scuff up the bottom when we get ready to repaint it. But overall, I think it's going to turn out pretty nice. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, you can always message me at, I'm on Instagram at Custom Transformations by Lori-Ann at Instagram.com, or on Facebook at Custom Transformations by Lori-Ann at Facebook.com.